What's up, guys? Today we're on another property. I'm going to take you around, show you what we do here. This is not a lawn mowing video, but we are going to do some irrigation checks, and I'm going to show you the other side of our business, which is kind of property management, maintenance for vacation rentals in our area. So first, I'm going to go around, just going to make sure all the irrigation zones are working properly. Everything is looking pretty green here. I don't see too many problem areas, maybe a couple we're gonna have to check on. And other than that, we're gonna go in the back. We're gonna balance the chemicals in the spa, and yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of maintenance inside, and that's gonna be it for here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the process I use to clean out a hot tub, or to balance the chemicals and get it ready for the next week. We're here once a week. So I've gone ahead and opened the hot tub, turned on the jets, let it circulate for a few minutes. Now I'm gonna go ahead and turn them off. And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna use my test strips. I already know this by looking at it, that the tub is fairly well balanced. I'm here every week. Otherwise I would use like a Taylor drop test kit. It's a little more accurate for testing things like alkalinity and really pH, and really just about anything. But the test strips will get you close enough. Go ahead and grab our test strip. I'm gonna dunk it in there. We're gonna have a look. We'll hold it up next to our bottle. I can find the right way to look at it. So, as you can see, this is our chlorine. Shows no chlorine. That's to be expected for a week. Alkalinity is still good. pH is right in there. It might need a little bit of pH down. And so now is when I would start adjusting it, right? I'm gonna get my bucket here. I'm gonna grab my pH down. We're gonna throw a little of that in. That's probably enough. And it needs chlorine. So we're gonna use a chlorinating concentrate. Get it at my local spa store. Again, you can measure it if you want. I just know it needs about that much until next week. Go ahead and turn the jets back on. Let it circulate. I don't really want it to circulate for too long. I really just want to mix all that up. See, these guys have a nice view. So it's circulated now for 15-20 seconds. That's enough time for me to know that the chemicals are pretty well mixed. Some of the chemicals do take, you know, up to a half an hour, maybe longer to reach full effect, but you get used to kind of figuring it out ahead of time and knowing what and what not to do and how much to add. As you can see now that those top two squares have turned bright purple, that means there's a ton of chlorine in there now, more than you'd want for someone to get in right now. So if you did have guests checking in, you'd tell them to wait an hour or two. But I know that it's going to be enough to last a week until we're back here again, and to keep the water sanitized as best as possible. The last thing I might add would be a spa and shock oxidizer. I usually wait about 15 to 20 minutes after adding chlorine to add that. Basically the chlorine goes in and sanitizes, starts breaking everything up in there, gets it to the surface, and then you add that oxidizer and it kind of helps burn it off. Then you can grab your dip net. You know, there's not really anything here today, but a lot of times we're out here getting a bunch of foam off. This hot tub obviously wasn't used a whole lot in the last week, so that's kind of it for that. There's a few other things you might do. We're just not going to do today because it's just doesn't seem to be necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to what we're going to do next here in a minute. So most of the Airbnbs we do are pretty quick turnaround. This one has been rented out long term, and so I think this person's here for 6 months, so I'm not going to show you anything we do inside. But we're going to go on to the last job I have here today, which is getting cobwebs. This house is kind of on the edge of being considered rural, on the edge of town, and so we do get a lot of spiders and stuff, and they tend to build webs really fast. So I'm going to go ahead and take you along for that. For a lot of years, all I did was mowing and maintenance, and I had to make all my money in that 6 or 7 months during the growing season. And wintertime was tough, not only financially, but also because you kind of get bored and your body starts to, you know, stiffen up. And so diversifying, adding more services is one way to keep that from happening. Maybe you could offer other maintenance to your customers. Maybe you have elderly customers or disabled customers, or customers who just have enough money they don't want to do it. You could change light bulbs for them, furnace filters, whatever. There's all kinds of ways to make extra money, guys. Lawn mowing is just one way, and I think diversifying is one way to make sure that you don't go broke. There's a lot of money to be made in the Airbnb market, the vacation rental market. Is this something you've considered doing with your business, or something you already do? Have you considered offering more services and increasing your annual ticket price? A lot of times you're running into your absentee homeowner. They trust us enough to care for their house, and if we tell them that they need something to be repaired or something needs maintained, they trust us. Maybe we send them a picture and we get the job done. Also, you'll run into property managers and vacation rental managers that they don't want to have to touch the property once they take it on. They want to hire out for everything. And so that's another angle. When we first moved to town, we took a business card. We went to every realtor's office we could find in town, dropped off a card. And we still work for a couple of those guys today, and we have made other connections because of that. So guys, that's going to finish it up for this property. Just wanted to show you another day in the life of what we do, some more of what we do, and then also just want to talk to you a little bit about how you can offer other services in your business to help increase your ticket price and make more money.